Welcome everyone back to another amazing week of Yeshivah. Good to see everybody's faces here. For those of us whose faces I can't see, I'd like to. If you want to turn your cameras on, if not, it's cool too. We're very lucky this week. Our guest speaker, who I asked to come and grace us with a little bit of Torah, a little bit of perspective, a TJJ alumni of 2017. The only year that she went on TJJ, and she was studying this year in Israel, and unfortunately the year got cut short a tad early. She's here, and I asked her to come and give a little perspective 3 years in the future from where many of you will be. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the proud lion, Miss Esther Kopetman. Over here, the great. Let's unmute you and take it away.
Okay, hi guys. So I just wanted to share an idea and speak about David HaMelech. David HaMelech was someone who had a life with a lot of hardship and difficulty and lived through a lot of darkness, but he really serves as like a true inspiration to me and to so many others because he always found like a way back to Hashem, and he always had emunah, and the fact that he always found the light is just something that I really truly admire. So I want to share an incident that happened in his life. He had a lot that went on in his life, but I want to share an event that happened in his life. So basically, David HaMelech, it's a debate whether he sinned or not, but he had done something, and Hashem decided to punish him. And his punishment, like among several, was that his child that was just born was going to die. And a prophet Natan came to tell David HaMelech, and when the prophet came and told him, David HaMelech went home, and the plague had already struck. The plague had already struck his child, and immediately when he saw that his child was critically ill, he fell to the ground and he was crying and he was mourning and he fasted, and his servants were all trying to help him and were trying to get him to shower and change his clothing, and he wouldn't do it. And 7 days later, he heard his servants whispering, and he already had a little bit of a hunch, and he asked them if anything happened. The baby died, and they told him yes. And the second that they told him yes, he got up and he changed and he showered and he sat in a chair and he went to daven Hashem, and then he asked for food. And the servants were so confused, they didn't understand. And they literally said to him, they asked him, David, you've literally been sitting on the ground. You haven't taken any of our help. You haven't eaten. And your baby was alive. And now that your child is nifter, now that your child is dead, you're getting up and you're eating and you're changing and you're showering. What's going on? And David HaMelech explained to his servants that at that time, he felt like he could do something. He thought that his mourning and that his tefillah and that his fasting could change the physical reality. But now that his baby had passed away, now that this child is nifter, he knew there was nothing else he could do. So he got up and he took this as a huge moment of humility, and he understood that what Hashem's judgment is what really is supposed to happen, and he continued. He got up and he continued. And right now we're living through a Megafah, we're living through a plague, and times are hard, and it's a little bit dark, and sometimes we can't see Hashem, and everyone's having difficulty, and there's a lot of loss. And we can't live in this morning. We can't physically do anything to change what's going on. And so we have to continue and we have to get up. But how do we do that? So when thinking about this, I truly think that we were all born in this time right now for a reason. We weren't born 100 years ago, and we're not born in 5 years. We're born during this time. And in Bereshit, there's a pasuk that says, "Vayikach Hashem Elokim es ha'adam vayanihehu began Eden le'avdal ulshamra." Hashem placed humans into Gan Eden to work it and to watch over it. We're placed in this world to work. We're placed in this world to do avodah. But right now, the world is turned upside down. We can't go to shul. We can't attend regular minyanim. We can't have Shabbos guests. So how are we supposed to do our avodah? How are we supposed to work? And the Nesiva Shalom in its introduction that the principle of foundation of our avodah is having clarity in every situation in our lives, and to know that what is required of us in each and every hour. Every moment of our avodah is different. Every hour of our life is different, and so what Hashem requires of us is completely different. It's never the same. And the Rebbe of Mikrobin said, he shared this idea, and he said that the most important thing to do in your avodas Hashem is to think deeply in every situation that you're in and every stage of your life, and see what Hashem wants from you. And when things are well in your life, and when you can see clearly, you have to ask yourself, what does Hashem want? And even in the times when you're living in darkness and you can't necessarily see Hashem so clearly, you have to ask yourself, and you have to think, and you have to go deep. What does Hashem want from me right now? Okay. So today is Lag BaOmer, and between Pesach and Shavuos, there was a Megeva, a plague that hit, and Rabbi Akiva's students, 24,000 of his students passed away. And right now, it's crazy. We're also in the time between Pesach and Shavuos, and today is Lag BaOmer, and there's a Megeva, and it's just such a parallel. And the Alei Shor says that his students passed away because they didn't respect each other. They didn't see the kavod in each other. They didn't see that each and every one of them had kedusha. They were small-minded, and they saw the negative in others. And it makes me think about what we can do now in quarantine at home, like what our avoda is right now. We're home. Oh yeah, sorry, Megeva means plague. We're home, and we're in quarantine with our families, and the worst part of ourselves, like our worst midot, come out now because you're with the people that you're most comfortable with. And it's easy to snap, and it's easy to like get frustrated at people. And so our first priority should be working on our midot internally at home. And even more, we should be working on earning like respect for others and building a respect for those around us, and seeing the kedusha, seeing the good, seeing the holiness in every single person. We should learn from the mistakes, like Pirkei Avos says. We should learn from the mistakes that others have made. We should integrate them into our lives. And just like David HaMelech got up and he continued, Rabbi Akiva, after his 24,000 students passed away, he mourned that night, and the next morning he woke up and he found 5,000. Not 5,000. Sorry, he found 5 new Talmidim, 5 new students, and he taught them. And it doesn't matter that he invested so much time and energy into those that passed away. He picked himself up and he continued investing into his 5 new students. And I give us all a bracha that during this time, in this darkness, we can get up and we can continue and be like David HaMelech and Rabbi Akiva, and continue serving Hashem and connecting him in a new way. Okay, yeah, obviously.
Wow, thank you so much, Esther. That was incredible, and obviously not to that capacity that the tragedies that they went through, but and we're all going through sort of our own little thing. We all lost something, whether it's for the seniors, they lost their graduation, or people lost their trips, or God forbid, even the summer. Right? How you bounce back from that, I think, is a really, really important thing. So that's a very powerful message. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. Good to see you as all.